Today's vlog is coming to you from my crown chakra to your crown chakra. And I'm just going to channel through this message because, firstly, it's showing you what it means to channel, how we channel. And the other thing is to actually really articulate what your divinity is, what my divinity is, what our divinity is. Because when I say divine, or when I speak of divinity, it goes way beyond the religious concept or construct of what God is, or even what a deity is. When I speak of divinity from the understanding that I have and from what has been shown to me, what I actually see is a frequency. It's a level of energetic expression that we all have, and it's our highest frequency of energetic expression. And for eons, we have actually personified this energetic expression into concepts and constructs of deities and gods and even higher selves and angels. But ultimately, when we are actually calling on something higher than ourselves to intervene, what we're actually calling on is our own highest frequency of energetic expression. And so this is what I speak of when I actually do sessions with people and I take them into their own divinity and their own expression of divinity. Things start really opening out, because if you have a challenge that is a really deep challenge for you, that happened in your life, for example, maybe when you were a child, or even happened recently, that you find it really hard to surmount, something that you felt has shattered you in one way or another. From the construct of your human mind, it's really hard to conceive how to come out of, to heal from, to mend from, to become whole from something that has occurred that's been so traumatic. But yet for all, when we bring the divine, when we bring your highest expression of frequency into that situation, you start to see it from a completely different viewpoint, from a completely different vantage point. You start to see that the occurrences that have happened in your life were meant always to serve you in one way or another. And in one way or another, you could actually say that your soul, your deepest expression, called it forward for you then to respond with something that breaks through a barrier, that breaks through a challenge, that allows you to see yourself bigger or more expanded than you thought, than your mental capacity was allowing you to see. And sometimes this is really hard to hear, because, you know, we could have things that have happened in our lives that have been really, really, really challenging. But ultimately, the challenge is supposed to allow you to mirror that challenge with your strength, to mirror that challenge with the development of your own energetic muscles, your own divine muscles. And I speak from a place of having had challenges in my own life and having had to really seek an understanding of what those challenges meant for me and where that was taking me. And ultimately, what came out of that was a sense of resilience, a sense of strength, a sense of rootedness, and a sense of actually knowing that I might not have all the answers right now, but I will have all the answers. I might not have all my answers right now, but I will have all of my answers. And that to me is the most sacred space to have been brought into as a result of these challenges. Because it allows me to see myself not only as a part of everything around me to a large degree, but it allows me to see myself as being interlinked to everything around me. Because when those answers come, they come in all shapes and sizes. They can come from some stranger that I met who actually voices one sentence that contains the answer to a question that has been echoing in the back of my mind for weeks or months. It could come from voicing the question and actually receiving almost the answer immediately in terms of a meditation, in terms of being in a quiet moment, in a quiet space that allows that answer, that nugget of knowledge that I needed to drop in. And it could be from all the familiar places that I know, all the familiar places that I would go to for that answer that are in my realm of immediacy, let's say. But the thing to realize is that there's so much more to us than we experience in our day-to-day, because we only allow ourselves to experience a certain amount of our capacity in our day-to-day. And if we put that experience into a repetitive loop, we can actually say that that is all there is for us. And really, for me, a lot of the work I do is actually breaking down all my own constructs that actually keep me from accessing the higher frequency of my own energy, the higher frequency of my own divinity. So then the question will become, why would one want to access a higher frequency of your own energy, the higher frequency? What's the point of that? And really the point of it is, if I was to say to you, what is your deepest yearning right now? Just tap in, just feel in, what is your deepest yearning? It could be something that's really surface, like a glass of water, or, I don't know, whatever. It could be something that you've actually been envisioning for a while, like a wish of some description. Maybe to go somewhere, or to see someone, or to meet someone, or to interact with someone. It might be an aspect of yourself that you've been wanting to develop. So you can actually possibly pinpoint it to an area, a yearning, that you have. If I was then to actually ask you to tap into your highest frequency, however that feels, means, comes forward for you. And I'll just take you through how I would do that. So if I was to ask myself what my deepest yearning is, and really feel into that right now, my deepest yearning as it comes forward almost instantly is to be able to serve. Because it feels like I have actually been developing and pulling information from all different places for quite a period of time now. And all this information has actually accumulated and amalgamated into something that wants to be shared, and it really yearns to be shared outwards. So I'm going to just sit with that and feel into that. And that's what my yearning is. If I was going to ask the divine, ask my own version of divinity to bring in the highest frequency of that yearning, what would that look like for me? And when I tap into this, I always use the chakras as a way of referencing, because I feel like it takes us really into the crux of all the ways that we express ourselves energetically. So when I actually feel into that, what I tend to do, and it's something that I've been doing for so long that it becomes really instant for me, I run energy. I actually feel my feet on the ground, feel the energy beneath my feet on the floor, and I bring that energy of groundedness, that energy of earthliness, up through the feet, up to the top of my head. And then from the top of my head, I get a sense of my more expansive element of energy, the element of my energy that I can't actually feel or touch or see, but is there with me nonetheless. I invite that through the crown, through the top of the head, all the way through the body and down to the bottom of the feet. And I feel these two energy forms running through me, running through my system. And when I call on these energy forms, I always call on these energy forms from the highest frequency. And my language for the highest frequency is divine. So I call on the divine. I call on my divinity. So going back to the questioning, if I was to call on my divinity to show me what the highest frequency of my yearning is, what do I see? I see that we're in a time and a space at the moment as a humanity, as a planet, where the energy is rising and the energy is shifting, but also the veils are being lifted. Whenever energy rises, it will always be met by energy that has a high frequency and has the strongest frequency in the collective mind. And we're seeing that at the moment because we're seeing that the outward things that are occurring in our world are making us question our own values, making us question our own sense of what is true for us, which would actually not have happened otherwise. And when this doesn't happen, when there is no questioning, when there is no sense of really understanding what we're standing for and where we stand, we become really complacent and things just slip under the radar that we otherwise, if we were thinking about it, would never, ever, ever allow to occur. But because we're too comfortable to even put mind to it, things start actually occurring and slipping underneath. And to a large extent, this is where we are at the moment, where we're seeing the reflection of what our collective mind has been bringing forth and birthing forth, and we're saying this is not what we wanted. But ultimately we weren't standing strong enough in what we wanted. So how does this apply to my yearning? The work that I do really is about allowing people to really connect exactly to that, connect to their sense of empowerment. And when I talk about connecting to empowerment, connecting to what they stand for, connecting to where they stand so they understand where they are with clarity and where it is that they're wanting to get to, connecting to the yearning of their soul and the spirit that they have within them to move them forward, and connecting to the possibility that they can have what they truly want, what they truly yearn for would never come through them as a yearning unless it was a possibility in their energy field. And this is what all the work that I'm doing has been leading up to. And so when I get that sense of yearning for service, that's the sense I'm getting. Now, do you understand and see where tapping into my divinity brings a completely different level of frequency into the fore? It brings a level of understanding of where I am, understanding of what this yearning actually means on a very universal level. So it shows me what my soul came here to do, really. And from the perspective of what I would call my highest good or the highest frequency, that's how I would term it. It leaves the mundane, it leaves the malaise, it leaves the comfortable aspects that I know with my physical 3D body. And it takes me into where my energy has been and knows that what is possible and knows the bigger picture of what is possible. And it brings that to me, and that allows me to see where I am in this 3D form a lot clearer. So this is what your yearning wants of you. And also this is what I'm here to help you with as a chakra alchemist. This is really the crux of the work that I do as a chakra alchemist. And as you know, because I've already shared with you, I yearn deeply to share this work with you. So over the course of forever, really, it's feeling like, I'm actually going to be sharing my work with you, and I'm going to be inviting you to actually connect with me on a deeper level if you feel the resonance to do so, and if this work resonates with you and where you are. And I'm just going to leave this particular vlog right here for now and say I love you, and I'll see you again soon.